Your cheating vote will tell on you when they count those ballots. They'll find the truth. You'll cry and cry when the truth unfolds. Your cheating vote will be exposed when tears come down. Good morning, my fellow Americans. Today, we're going to talk about voter ID. And this one here is going out to my friend Linda, because she got family members picking on her, picking at her, saying I'm brainwashing her, making her a Trumper. Like, being a Trumper is bad. No, that's being patriot, son. Maybe you ought to stop being communist. And if you don't get this thing and you don't understand it, I'll do another segment later. Get some crayons and I'll draw you out some graphs, some stuff a 5-year-old would get. So, all right, let's get to it. Let's paint a picture for y'all. Let's say you stroll up to your voting booth, chest out, feeling 10 feet tall, proud as a rooster at sunrise, ready to do your civic duty. You reach in your pocket. You pull out a hard-earned voter ID. You know, the kind that you can only get with a birth certificate and proof of citizenship, not just a light bill, because that's the same thing that you got with the California ID. It's like a light bill, proof of residence. Prove nothing, son. That you can drive, they don't prove that either, because look at the crashes with the commercial vehicles. But here comes this fella, bless his heart. He strolls up to the voting booth next to you, flashing that Costco card. Can't speak a lick of English. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, but Sergeant, you don't speak proper English either. Yes, I do. It's just Southern, but improper maybe, but it's English. But this critter here, this critter right here don't speak no English. Ain't showing no proof of citizenship either. Now, I know I've been a little silly with that whole Costco card part. But come on now. California ID ain't a proof of citizenship, y'all. So why is California just fine with folks who ain't supposed to be voting? I'm going to tell you why. Because they know that their vote's for them. That's cheating, y'all. Plain and simple. Call it what you want. Use excuse whatever you want. But me, I'm going to call a spade a spade. And if we had real California voter identifications, we'd keep some integrity in this system. But no, if you don't want voter ID, you probably don't care much about integrity. Heck, you might not even know what the word means. If you went to school here in California, I'm going to be nice. All right now. But honestly, if you're here illegal and you're backing folks up who are, then I'm sure you don't support integrity. You know what's sad? For real, parents who are like this. Because those poor youngins, they're learning from your example you teach. And you're teaching the wrong example. You're teaching that it's all right to cheat and it's a lie. Anybody who's against it is a fascist, white supremacist, or KKK or example. I can go on and on. And that's why they follow Gigi, y'all. That's a lying cur dog if I ever saw one. But folks still believe in him. Because fear is a powerful thing, and that he is definitely the queen of fear porn. Lord have mercy. And that right there, my friends, is what we're talking about today. Voter ID. Sounds simple enough, right? Prove who you are before you cast your votes. But I'll tell you what, when you take away their ability to cheat, man, oh man, folks sure did get fired up about it. Like they were arguing over who's the best barbecue in Texas. Now, voter ID laws, they're just rules saying that you got to show some kind of identification before you vote. The idea is real simple, y'all. Make sure every vote comes from a real person, not some fella voting twice or somebody's cousin coming out of town trying to sneak one in. One person, one vote. That's the American way. Now, why folks support it? The folks who like voter ID say it's just some good old common sense. You need an ID to drive. You need an ID to buy a six-pack. You need ID to pick up a package from the post office. So why not when you're picking who runs this country? That says it helps keep the process clean and fair. Make sure every honest vote counts and keep them bad apples out. Now, why folks don't like it? Oh, we could talk about Gigi. Notice how DOJ said they're going to go here and Newark or New Jersey? And New Jersey said, let them come. We ain't got nothing to hide. But Gigi, no, he's throwing a fit, calling us every name in the book. That's because you cheating, son. Now, on the flip side, some folks who worry about these laws can make it tougher for certain people. Like older folks out there in the sticks, anyone who don't get easy access to the government office to get that ID. They say voter fraud is rarer than a snowstorm in July. And these rules might make it harder for good people to vote. And I get that. So let's find some middle ground. So that's the real trick here. Is finding the sweet spot. Keeping our elections honest without making it a headache to cast your ballot. Some states are trying to make it easy, offering free voter ID and letting folks verify their info through the mail. So that's the gist of it all. Voter ID meant to keep the game fair, but we gotta make sure the rules don't bench half the team. You get it? Next up, we're gonna take a little look at how different states are handling all this and who's really feeling the effect out there. Right now, let's take a little stroll around the country and see how everybody's handling this voter ID. Because let me tell you, it ain't the same everywhere. Not by a long shot. Some states, they got strict rules. You walk in there, and if you ain't got no picture ID on you, well, you might as well be trying to vote with your fishing license. They're sending you home. States like Texas, Georgia, and Indiana, they don't play, son. Especially when it comes to showing your ID. Then you got some other states, a little more easygoing. They let you bring in something, simple. Maybe a utility bill, a paycheck. Something that proves that you live where you say you do. And a few places don't require nothing at all. And they just figure folks are being enough honest to do it the right way. Who we fooling? Come on now. Come on. They don't want voter ID because they want people who are not supposed to be voting to vote. Promise you that. Now, who's feeling the heart from all this? Well, mostly folks who are got it hard, especially getting these IDs, are elder folks. Maybe folks living out in the countries, really. Out in the countries who don't drive no more. Or youngins who never need an ID except for borrowing mama's car. Some of them got to travel good ways to get to a DMV. And we all know that's an all-day adventure. Those people right there as worthless as a brand new windshield wiper on a broken windshield. I tell you that, son. Then you got veterans, folks with disability, folks living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes they just don't have the paperwork or the extra cash to get that fancy government ID. And that's what is getting tricky, y'all. We want to make sure every American voice is heard without making them jump through a dozen hoops to do it. So yeah, some states are tougher than a $2 state. Others are laid back as a Sunday picnic. The real question is, how do we make sure this whole process stays fair and easy for every voter? That's what we're going to chew on today. So don't go nowhere. Listen to this all if you care. If you want to cheat, go out there and cheat. If you want to defend it, go out there and defend it. If you want some education, sit back and listen, son. Let's talk about keeping it fair and easy for everyday voter. Did I say voters? Voters. All right now. This is where the rubber meets the road. We all want fair elections. No funny business. No cheating. No double dipping and double dipping. Okay, best way. You ever see somebody dipping in the chips and you see them double dip? You ain't gonna want none of that chips. It's wrong. Common sense. But we also don't want to turn voting into some kind of obstacle course, neither. So, how do we keep it fair and easy? Well, first off, a lot of folks say we ought to make getting an ID simple as sweet tea on a summer day. If the law says y'all need one, then by golly, make sure everybody who deserves it gets one. No charge, no hassle, no nothing. Some states are already doing it right, offering free voter IDs, setting up mobile units to go out to the rural towns, and even helping folks gather up their paperwork they need. That's good old common sense right there. Don't make it harder. Make it happen. Why not send a truck out there? I mean, a van, 2 people. One liberal, one Republican, so they can watch over each other. And why we're at it, maybe we could use a little modern tech. Make sure folks can register or check their info online with running all over creation. If we can order a tractor part from our phone, we ought to be able to check our voter status. Too, y'all think, well, let me let you know. Go to Reform California. You can track your ballot, see how it is. I mailed mine in. I'm going to track mine right now. Now, there's one more piece to this puzzle, education. A lot of folks don't even know what kind of ID their state requires, at least until it's too late. So the states need to do a better job spreading the word, letting people know what they need before election day, not sitting there fighting with Trump. Ain't nothing worse than showing up ready to vote and getting told you can't, especially if you had to drive far, far away. At the end of the day, keeping it fair ain't about picking sides. It's about making sure everybody gets a voice, plain and simple. We can have strong security and easy access if we just use a little common sense, good sense, and a heart. Now, next up, I want to dive into real world stories and folks out there on the ground dealing with voter ID head on. Some success, some struggle, and a whole lot of lessons we can learn from. Now, y'all talking politics is one thing, but when you start to hearing it from real folks who lived through it, that's when it hits home. Seriously, y'all. These ain't numbers on a chart. These are neighbors, your church buddy, folks you see at the gas station and every morning. Let's take Miss Loretta down in Alabama. Go Tides. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. My bad. War Eagles. Yeah, he'll take me. He'll take me off. He'll take me off. He'll take me off his inheritance. I'm a war eagle. No, but just for real. For instance, Loretta, sweet old lady, 84 years old, voting every single election since Dwight Eisenhower. Since Dwight Eisenhower's in office. But last go around, she got turned away because her driver license was expired. She don't drive no more. And getting to the DMV was 2 counties over. Now, tell me, that ain't a shame. That's a woman who earned the right to vote 10 times over any of us. Then you got old Ronnie from Texas. He's a vet, proud as can be. Just like me. He told me straight up, he likes showing his ID. Says, makes him feel like the system's solid. Likes his vote counted the right way. He says, shoot, I show my ID for less important things. I don't mind showing it for something that's important. Can't argue with that either, because I do too. I'm in California. I don't have to show my ID, but I show my ID anyways. Even when they say, you don't need to, I say, no, you look at my ID. Shoot, I don't play that. But up in North Carolina, they try a new setup, mobile ID units that went to town, helping folks get their cards. Miss Sarah, she said it was the first time the government came to her instead of the other way around. She smiled big and said it made her feel like her vote mattered. That's the kind of story that gives you hope, y'all. So when you're here, all these stories is kind of reminds you that this whole debate ain't black and white. It's got heart. It's got history. It's got people caught in the middle, just trying to do the right by their country. We got to listen to them, y'all. If we're going to fix this the right way, so yeah, we got to hear their stories. The good, the bad, and the downright head-scratching. So, I want to take a look at what can be done different. Some new ideas floating around might just make voting easier, safer, fairer for everybody. The next part is this where it gets interesting, y'all. All right, now. We done heard the stories, seen the struggles, and talked about what's working and what ain't. So let's look down the road a bit and talk about some new ideas. Things that could make voting smoother than a butter on biscuit. Now, if you wonder why I turned my light on, it's like I can't see my little bit. I'm not starting over. I already got how many minutes I got into this. This is like my 7th time going around. So let's go. Whatever you get is what you get. Things could make voting smoother than a butter on biscuit. First off, how about we take that old DMV out of the equation altogether? That's the worst department if I ever seen one in my life. A lot of folks can make it down there, so what if the states came to them? Mobile ID trucks, pop-up registration booths at the county fairs, grocery stores, heck, even churches on a Sunday morning. If we can't set up a food truck, we can't set up voter ID trucks. Hell, I see taco trucks everywhere. Why can't we have a voter ID truck? Makes sense, don't it? Next, there's talk about making digital IDs an option. Now, I know some folks get nervous around kind of technology. I have one. I have a digital ID. But it don't have to be fancy. Just a simple app tied to your driver's license, state records, secure as a bank vault. That lets you verify yourself without jumping through hoops. And for folks who ain't got internet or smartphones, keep it old-fashioned ways too. This ain't about replacing one system with another. It's about adding more ways to get folks in the door. That's another smart idea. I've been hearing about states working with local post office. They're already everywhere. Most folks trust their mailman more than they trust Washington. Unless you're in California, I don't trust those people as much as I can throw. You could drop off paperwork, verify your info, maybe even get your voter ID printed right then and there. Talk about bringing that process back to the people. And y'all's education got to be part of it. Every state ought to send out a plain old letter before election saying, here's what you need, here's how you get it, here's where you go if you got any questions at all. Don't assume folks know. Help them out now. That's what America's supposed to do. Y'all talking about helping people that don't belong here. That's what you guys want to help. How about turning that around and help people who do belong here? Now, we can talk ideas all day long, but none of it matters if you don't remember why this whole thing got started. Making sure every vote in this country get heard. So, we're going to wrap this up with a little heart-to-heart. What voter ID really means for this country and why it's bigger than politics. Honestly, we covered a lot of ground this morning. Took me all night writing this. Tried to do it. You should have seen my first text. I was literally falling asleep between segments because it's important to me to get this information out to y'all. That's how important to me. 2 a.m. I was trying to get this done, but I was like, I got to go to sleep. I got to get up in the morning and do it. Running late was my business. But I got to work extra hard to get the things I got to get done. That's how much I care about you. Because this is something a whole lot deeper. This is about trust. This is about loyalty. This is about integrity. Trust in the system. Trust in your neighbors. Trust what we can do if them ballots that we're counting just the same as the next person. That's the glue that holds this big old miracle experiment together. Now, I ain't here to tell you what side to take. That's your business. That's your decision, and I'm going to respect it. But I will tell you this. Don't slam on other people because they have a different business. That's bullying. You bullying? Come bully me. Let's start listening more, shouting less. We get a lot whole closer if we fix, or we get a lot whole closer to fixing what is broke. We can protect our elections. We can protect our people at the same time. And if we got what will, a little bit of good sense, America's a lot like a family. We argue at the dinner table, sure. But when it's time to clean up, we still do it together. And voting, that's how we keep this family going. The voice of the farmer, the teacher, the soldier, the nurse, everyone who's called to this land home. So, whether you red, blue, or just trying to get through remembering this, your vote matters. Your voice matters. This country's still worth fighting for, y'all. Keep it fair, keep it free, and keep it American. That's all there is to do. That's all it is to do. Listen, I'm Sergeant O. Stop your bullying. You want to debate somebody, come debate me. Don't pick on no lady. Some 50-something-year-old lady, pick on her. Come pick on me. I'll put you to shame. I appreciate y'all riding along with me tonight. Till next time, keep your chin up, your boots dusty, your faith in this old flag strong. You can see it. I got it everywhere. God bless y'all. God bless the United States of America. This is Sergeant O. Y'all have a great day. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call Trump's name. You'll walk the floor and eyes will too. Your cheating heart will tell